Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Future of Wrestling podcast with your host, the erotic one, Broski and Logan.
Future of Wrestling podcast is here once again, bringing you one of the highly recommended, one of the highly anticipated shows on the channel. I like to call it the old school edition. Tonight we are talking all about Dwayne Johnson, Rocky Maivia, The Rock. But first, let's plug ourselves so Broski can leave right after he does plug himself, because that is what he does.
That's
Broski, what? Well, I know you plug yourself and you're out.
Yep,
you're gone. It's funny. Where can the fans check you out? And what the hell do you do?
You can find me once again on Twitter at MTL Broski. I've just been released from Twitter jail. It's a very exciting time. It's nice to breathe fresh air once again. And yeah, you can follow me there. You can find me on YouTube at first thing in the morning. That's it. That's it. Oh, wait. If you want to support the things I do, can do so in two ways: prowrestlingtees.com/FTITM, as well as patreon.com/FTITM. Now I'm done. All right, I'm out. Good show, Logan.
See, I knew it. But no, it's good to have you back off of the Twitter jail. You know, the lunches that you've been having has been terrible. It's like slop.
Subpar, Logan. We were treated like monsters.
Bologna sandwiches on
the word police.
Nasty.
The word police got me, and it wasn't pleasant.
Yeah, it's just a hard time. I mean, I couldn't bail you out of this jail. I wish I could have. I would have paid all the money.
You joined me though. That was nice.
I did join you.
What a show! What a tremendous show of solidarity.
You just don't fuck with my friends. Plain and simple.
If you smell what Logan is cooking. Huh? Yeah.
No, it's definitely not me. Not happening, broski.
Fine.
But of course, you guys can check me out on Twitter at LoganMyers144, and you can check me out as the co-host on Cruise Control alongside Travis and the Colin Dunn. Dear God, I wish I could just fire the fuck out of him. Horrendous.
He wears a tie. Does he wear a tie on your show too?
You should ask him. I don't know.
Ask him if he wears a tie.
I will ask him. I just don't like talking about the irrelevant people on the podcast, so let's move on to the subject.
Logan, why are you throwing so much shade? Why? What did this guy ever do to you?
I've never recommended somebody to do a dick spot in professional wrestling.
Oh, right. It's the Joey Ryan guy. Right. Fuck him. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, Colin's a good guy.
Yeah, Colin's good.
I just got to give him a hard time because
Logan turned heel on the weekend.
Yes, I did. It's time to showcase what truly comes out of me, and that is heart and soul of a podcast.
Jesus.
See, you like that one?
That was beautiful. I don't know why. Do you want to take over for me on Kayfabe today?
I don't think I could even come close to what you guys do.
You were fine. You were good on the show. What are you talking about? When we had Tonk on, that was good.
I barely spoke. I was supposed to do commentary that night, and it never happened. I was very upset. But I will be coming back to commentary this month in just a couple weeks, alongside a show that is going to have Gene Snitsky, former WWE superstar. So that's going to be fun.
You should stream it on Periscope.
I might have to do that. I might have to try.
So we can watch you work.
I might have to. I might have to do it.
There you go.
Fuck it. I'll do it.
There you go.
If I'm doing commentary that night, you will see me on Periscope or something.
Logan Myers, the multimedia man.
I do it all. Seems like.
See, there you go.
But
you should learn how to.
Are you ready?
You should learn how to edit.
Oh.
I'm just fucking with you.
Shots fired. I don't think I could do this show anymore. I'm plugging myself and I'm gone. Bye.
How dare you? How dare you?
I'm doing a broski,
That's not. No, shut up.
Yeah.
What are we talking about this week, Logan?
We are definitely talking about Dwayne Johnson, Rocky Maivia, The Rock, old school. We're going old school, baby. Yeah. Do the little dance.
It's a good song.
Yep.
I'd love to see you do the Carlton dance.
I actually have done that before. Not gonna lie.
I bet it's beautiful. You look like you're a good dancer. I bet you're a good dancer. I bet you got sick moves, but you lack confidence, so you don't bust them out. You only bust them out in your room. It's a shame.
In my recliner, so I don't break a hip.
Oh, Logan, I'm the one who breaks hips. I'm the old man, not you. What you talk about, son? All right, let's talk about The Rock. I'm sorry, I keep ruining the show.
No.
Were you a fan of him? Were you a fan of his when he was Rocky Maivia? That silly ass haircut.
Didn't they call him like the blue chipper when he first came into the business?
Yeah, something like that.
And he did not like the name at all.
Well, can you blame him?
Man, no, I can't blame him at all. But
I'm the blue chipper. I'm gonna kick your ass.
yeah, it just didn't work out. I mean, things like names that the Vince McMahon likes to give you, so corny and so stupid.
Well, it's like the ones for Stone Cold. You ever see that fucking list?
So that's a big ass list. That's a big ass list. Wow. And that's why I didn't mention the blue chippers, because The Rock was way better than that. So like bringing that up to me was just like, But when he first came into the business, I mean, a lot of people were looking for him to be a big star, and at first nobody thought he would actually be that guy.
No, until they let him be himself, and then once they let him be himself, imagine that things went well. That's the funniest thing. Roman Reigns could easily be this generation's The Rock if they just listened to the fans the way they did with The Rock, but they don't. Because if you remember, The Rock was supposed to be a big-time babyface, came out smiling and dancing, and his silly hair was all wet, and it would look weird with the lights. It would look all funny and shit, and he looked completely ridiculous. And people yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, and people,
I
was just gonna say, people didn't want that. People didn't give a shit.
No.
And then the Die Rocky Die stuff started happening, and instead of force feeding us something that we didn't want, they gave us what we did want: an edgier, a cooler, a better character. And they let him be himself. They let him talk on the mic the way that he is comfortable talking, and imagine that it worked. That's why I keep saying that, like, Roman Reigns could easily be the hottest fucking heel in the business, easily. Then you do that No, they're not going to do it. But you do that for a year or two. You let people hate, and then all of a sudden you put them in a situation where, hey, wait a minute, that wasn't fair about that. We know Roman's a bad guy, but that wasn't fair. And people start turning, and people start, and then you get then that's when you get your hot ass baby faces. It's been done time and time again. It did it with Stone Cold and Bret Hart at the same time. Why can't they
even did it with The Rock?
Yeah,
they did it with The Rock in 2003.
But why can't they do it? Why can't they do it anymore? Why do we have to have this thing where I know like heels and faces don't matter in WWE apparently, but I don't know. You could have yourself. They could easily. I'm not saying he would be as big of a star as The Rock is, or was back then, or is now, but they could easily find themselves in a situation where if they want to eventually get Roman over, they just have to let people hate him first.
Hate him to love him, basically.
Yeah, and it's weird, and it sounds fucked up, but in wrestling that works. We've seen it time and time again.
Plenty of characters have done it. We've seen plenty of guys do it.
Yeah.
They love to hate them, and then they hate to love them, and that's one thing that makes a superstar. It makes the character, it brings out a whole new, unique thing when it comes to the superstar. So that's what they need, and that's what they deserve.
Yeah,
Roman
exactly.
Reigns, like you said, could be one of the best heels, and then could be in the future one of the best faces in the company. Don't listen to what the fans are doing. Give the fans what they want. They want a heel, and then later on, they will turn and like him.
It took them 10 years to get John Cena over as a babyface, and they did it at the expense of the guy that they're trying to make the next John Cena.
Yep, they did, and the cool part about it, we talked about that. We're talking about him, Roman Reigns going as a heel and The Rock being a heel. I remember when Rikishi did it. That is one of his cousins, Yokozuna, Rikishi, Rosie, Umaga. All of them have played heel.
Are you talking about the? I did it for The Rock.
Yeah, I did it for The Rock. Yeah.
I'm sorry, that always makes me. I did it for The Rock. Like when The Rock was imitating Rikishi doing it, that shit was great.
I remember that. That was like Rock was like, "What the hell are you even talking about?" Did it for me.
And he took off his glasses, and he had these he bulged out his eyes. Oh god, it's fucking. If you guys have never seen it, just look up. I'm sure on YouTube, all you have to do is look up Rikishi. I did it for The Rock, and it'll be fine. It's pretty fucking funny. But that's something that The Rock had that, to his credit, it's something that The Rock had that Roman Reigns, because we keep drawing the parallels because they're obviously there, but that Roman Reigns doesn't necessarily have yet, and it seems like The Rock had it from day one. It's that natural charisma, because even if you don't like The Rock in the ring, you can't not like him on the mic, even when he was a heel. Because when he started getting over and he started getting real heat, people always booed him, but they would always sing his catchphrases along with him at the same time. And he's one of those cool heels. Him and Stone Cold, I think, really started to solidify the cool heel. Cause for all intents and purposes, Stone Cold Steve Austin isn't a good guy. He's a bad guy. But because the 90s were so edgy, The Rock and Stone Cold are two guys that came at the right time. Perfect right time. It's the way, just from the way they expressed themselves to the way that they acted, to their mannerisms, to everything was larger than life. It was once in a lifetime superstar, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
But like we said, Roman Reigns could be like the next Rock. He could be. I see it. A lot of people see it. A lot of people don't see it because they just don't. They don't know wrestling like our hardcore fans like us.
I think Roman Reigns is a better wrestler, but The Rock is a far better entertainer. By far.
Better on the mic. Definitely. But that's one thing that you can't really look at altogether because he's gotten a lot better recently.
Yeah, I think him putting Reigns with Cena definitely is helping him out. He's getting better. Maybe he called his cousin. Hey, Rock.
Maybe he did.
I need some help. Just think of the catchphrases and how over and all the merchandise. And they named a goddamn show after him, dude. Who else has that honor, right? Who else has that in WWE history? It's not too many.
Nobody.
There is no SmackDown without The Rock. And all the smart marks who are always like, SmackDown's so much better. Fuck Raw. Well, you got The Rock to thank for that show. He made SmackDown into a word, like a real word that people use. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Who said SmackDown really before The Rock? I
don't remember anybody
in the late 90s, early 2000s. No, but yeah, because nobody. Suck It, the whole I know John 3:16 was a thing, but there was a resurgence of the 3:16 thing with Austin. All of a sudden you started seeing that pop up a lot more than you used to. I know it was a thing before, like I said, but these are things that changed popular culture and the way that we speak, and it's all because of a fucking wrestling program. And if you think about it, like, it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I'm really not. Like, yeah, I'm sure people said "suck it" before, but how popular did "suck it" get after DX?
Wow.
The Rock changed the English language.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, he did. That is definitely one thing that he did do. And you mentioned earlier about the Die Rocky Die. Rocky sucks.
Yeah.
You could hear it in the matches when he was Rocky Maivia, and then like on an episode of Monday Night Raw's War, on April 28th, 1997, he lost the Intercontinental Championship to Owen Hart, and then he turned heel and joined the Nation of Domination, and that's when everybody started seeing the true Rock.
Yeah.
And the true everything about him that was so intriguing, and what made The Rock The Rock.
Yeah, I think the Nation of Domination Rock is underrated, really, because that's where it all started. I feel like you don't hear much about his Nation of Domination days. Maybe because if he did that angle in 2017, the fucking company would get like attacked by Antifa.
But you don't hear much about when he was with Nation of Domination. But if you think about it, and if you do go back and look, he overshadowed everybody in that group, especially the leader Farouk.
Yeah, and they played off that.
Yeah, and they played off that, and that's what made him that damn good. And that's what a lot of people need to realize, is that The Rock was made by Nation of Domination, I think.
Yeah, because he was put in there with already established stars. Granted, not main eventers except for Ron Simmons, but he was in there with established stars, so he had no choice but to sink or swim. And he, needless to say, he fucking jet skied. But like that, and like, think about Randy Orton when he came up. Did they stick him with nobodies? No, they put him with fucking like Triple H, Batista, and Ric Flair, for fuck's sake.
Established stars, and
established stars who've been doing that for years already, who know what they're doing, and the kid comes in and he just has to sit there and fucking watch and learn. Of course.
Well, mainly it was Triple H and Ric Flair, because Batista was still coming up too, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Thanks for correcting me, Logan.
Well, like I'm saying, like Ric Flair, anybody being under that angel arm of Ric Flair was going to get a good rub.
Except the Miz.
Wow.
That didn't do shit for the Miz.
I don't think the Miz needed Flair at all.
No,
so
I don't need. I agree with you.
But like The Rock, the Nation of Domination is what really helped him become him. But in 1998 and 1999, it was all about the corporation. And when that like super duper turn heel,
that son of a bitch.
When he turned on the Stone Cold,
yeah, that's JR.
Joined, like, Man, and
yeah, that terrible impression I just did was JR when The Rock turned. That's what he said.
Son of a bitch!
That son of a bitch! God damn it! Don't do that! Don't do that! I love JR, man. He's the best.
JR's by far.
I'm not very good at doing JR impressions. I know this has nothing to do with The Rock, but it's a little aside. Who's your favorite commentary duo? Because a lot of people say Jerry the King Lawler and JR, but that's not who my favorite duo is. I'm curious who your favorite duo is.
It was JR and the King.
Yeah? See, me, it's Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan.
They polarized, like, the commentary desk.
They were so good. They were so fucking good. The back and forth, the banter. Go back and watch their, like, interview stuff. And when, like, Bobby Heenan couldn't get into the building. That shit is fucking great. Like, they overshadowed the stuff in the ring. They made it better. Like, I'd rather just, like, I could watch that shit like a podcast. Just have it on in the background.
Yep, let's watch this.
But sorry, I digress.
And Yeah, I agree with you on a lot of things on like commentary. Like I don't know, if you look at commentary now and you look at commentary back then, like a guy like Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler, they really helped the characters. They helped a lot of the superstars get
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's they don't really do that much.
Corey Graves.
Corey Graves.
Yeah, Corey Graves does that, but Tom, I like Tom Phillips, and I'm so glad that that Graves and Saxton are back together. It makes me so happy. So, like, SmackDown commentary is pretty damn solid. Saxton, as much as I hate him, he does play his role rather well. So
he smiles too much,
but that I have a feeling like if you're black and you're in the WWE, Vince takes you aside at one point. You gotta smile.
Yeah, and remember when he like wore like the onesie?
Who?
Do you remember that? Byron Saxton wore
yes
onesie
on Halloween with like the yellow bears on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, then Corey Graves was like, "What the fuck are you wearing?"
That was great.
They have such good chemistry together. It's fucking great.
And speaking of Byron, he is actually dating one of The Rock's nieces, Nia Jax. So little do people know.
Is he really?
Yes, he's in a relationship with Nia Jax.
I bet she beats the shit out of him. And he
probably
like he asks for it though.
I know they're a couple because actually on one of the
you know, because you're the man with all the scoops.
WWE Network, where they go ride together, ride along.
Right. Oh yeah, that's true. I knew that. Thank you, Logan. Thank you for that.
See, I do my homework.
Yeah, one of us is prepared.
Nah, you're prepared with me. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But this is the part where I know you're gonna smile and laugh. Towards the latter part of 1999, The Rock actually had several single matches and tag team championship opportunities, also forming with enemy Mankind as The Rock and Sock Connection. And
it was
your favorite segment of all time, This Is Your Life.
Well, the first one was fine. I liked the first one. It's stupid, but it's funny. Wasn't it like the highest viewed segment for the longest time?
The segment earned an 8.4 rating, one of the highest ratings ever for a Monday Night Raw segment.
That's fucking insane. 8.4. Jesus Christ, they struggle to get to fucking 2.
See, here's the thing. When you look at both of them, it's the characters that made that
completely. It's Mankind and The Rock. That's without them, it doesn't really work. And even with them, if they did it again, it wouldn't work.
No, it just wouldn't.
Actually,
I think Mankind and The Rock, if they did This Is Our Life again, I think it would have a better rating than the first one.
No way. Are you nuts? You really think dude?
I think they could do it. I think they could pull it off.
Hell no. 8.4? Are you fucking out of your mind? Dude, dude, Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead don't even come close to that. And they're like the hottest they're the hottest TV shows on fucking. I guess that's like, is USA Network basic cable or is it like fancy cable?
It's both.
So it's basic.
Yeah, it's basic. It's one of your basic channels.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think
I'm not American. I haven't had TV since like the mid 2000s, so I'm not up on my television packages.
Oh yeah, huh? Oh, I mean, like Comcast, Xfinity, whatever you want to call it. Their regular channels, it does have USA, so I guess you can call it a regular channel.
There you go. Basic cable. Welcome to Cable Chat, your number one source for all things cable.
Alongside Broski and your best friend, Logan Myers. Oh.
Why are you everybody's best friend, Logan?
Because I am awesome.
Why
okay?
can't I be everybody's best friend?
Don't you make me throw shots.
Fine. Move on with the show, Logan, before I get angry.
All right. Well, we're gonna definitely talk about our other matches. Featuring The Rock, the big matches, the money matches. The Rock versus Hogan.
I was at one in Montreal in 2003. No Way Out. I think it was the fallout from WrestleMania.
From the first match?
Yeah.
Or was that the first match?
No,
2002 was...
Yeah, it was in 2003, so it was the second match.
It was the second match. It was like... And then I think that Mania after that was The Rock and Austin.
Yeah.
Which I think was like the final Mania match for The Rock. And then at Backlash, he faced Goldberg and then left.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But that is what we're talking about. Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, and Goldberg. So we can also talk about all three of them matches because that was basically the last three matches that he had before he went on to...
Take over Hollywood?
Yeah. One of the best actors in the world today.
Well, highest paid. I don't know about the best, but he's the highest paid.
I can't believe how much he gets paid, too.
It's fucking crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy because I think his very first movie that he did, The Scorpion King, I think he got paid $5.5 million for that movie.
That's pretty fucking good for your first movie.
Yeah. That was like...
I say that like I know anything about Hollywood.
Well, I mean, $5.5 million, I think that's
I'll take it.
tremendous money. Shit. I mean...
Strip me naked, tar and feather me, and send me down running the street. Running down the street. I don't care. 5.5 million? Are you fucking kidding me? That's a lot of fucking... I could live off of that.
And I don't think he was like in like 80% of the movie. So being paid 5.5 for
yeah, that's true.
Like I know he was like in the last fight and maybe saw like once throughout the movie.
I think there was a couple character development spots to let you know who he was. But yeah, you're right. He wasn't in that much. I think the first starring role was The Rundown with fucking Stifler from American Pie.
That was a good movie.
I enjoyed that movie. They had good chemistry. It was dumb, but I like dumb movies.
And then I think he had a football movie that he did. I can't remember the movie.
Was it Gridiron Gang?
Yeah, I think so. Gridiron Gang. Yeah,
I like the. You know what?
I
I always like those fucking stupid American football movies where there's like troubled teens. I always like those movies for some reason, even though I don't really like football. For some reason, I'm like, yeah, come on, disadvantaged youth, you can do it. Wasn't Exhibit in that movie?
I think.
Yeah, he was for sure. He was. That's hilarious.
I think he was.
Exhibit helping troubled youth. That's fucking funny.
Shit, can you imagine if The Rock was the water boy? that would have been funny.
Like the Adam Sandler movie?
Yep, the Adam Sandler movie, The Water Boy.
Jesus Christ. And then he did Tooth Fairy.
My mama said.
Well, Big Show's in that movie. He's Captain Insano.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because I think the last Tooth Fairy, they had Larry the Cable Guy.
Oh, Christ. Somewhat of a step down, huh? They made sequels to that?
Yes, they did.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Larry the Cable Guy wasn't terrible.
I don't know. My brain can't compute that sentence.
He wasn't. It's not going to be as good as The Rock, but in other words, I mean...
Larry the Cable... Isn't like Larry the Cable Guy that like he's like friends with Jeff Foxworthy?
Yes.
They do that redneck comedy tour or some shit?
Yes. Yep.
Yes, if your living room is also your bathroom, you might be a redneck.
Well, like we were talking about before we started the show.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know how we ended up at the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Is that what it's called? The Blue Collar Comedy Tour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I think so.
I don't know how he ended up here, but help me out. Help me out of this rabbit hole.
Wow. But we did go from The Rock to Larry the Cable Guy, and then, but he was the highest actor.
The Rock. I forgot that's what we were talking about.
Oh my gosh, this is.
I'm joking. I know where I am.
I should have hired a guest.
What? Oh my God, that hurt my feelings. My feelings are so hurt, Logan. They're hurt.
They're hurt, but I think you said that you actually was at one of the matches with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. At No Way Out.
No Way Out.
I got to shake Hulk Hogan's hand that night too.
Oh, you did, really?
Yeah, his hand feels like sandpaper. It's fucked up.
Oh my gosh.
I tell you, it does. I reached out and he grabbed my hand. I was like, ah!
Wow.
It's because my hands have never felt the wrath of manual labor, so they're silky smooth. So it was like raw dogging a virgin.
Oh my god. No, out of the two Hulk Hogan matches between The Rock, which one was actually your favorite? Was it the one that you actually saw?
It's hard to answer that question because whenever you're there, it's always better than watching it at home, right? So of course I liked the one at No Way Out more than because they redid the Montreal Screwjob that night, and I was like, oh yeah, take that, fucking marks. So I thought that was pretty funny.
You would do something like that?
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Little Broski.
I was
back in 2003.
2003? I guess I wasn't that little. I was like 18 or 19, I guess.
Did you have the beard that you have now?
No, I had just like I had like the soul patch that led down onto it like a chin beard.
Oh my gosh. He had like the small little mustache that looked like the...
No, I didn't have the pedo stash. No, I shaved off
Damn.
I would...
You didn't have the black looking like Hulk Hogan mustache?
No. I although I have for Movember, I did shave my beard into a Hulk Hogan mustache at one point.
Gosh, I want to see that, but I know some people would get mad.
Well, I have a picture of it. I can send it to you. I also have one of me with just a mustache.
That is funny.
Yeah, it definitely looks like I diddle kids.
Back when The Rock faced Hogan, that was when like The Rock had to carry Hogan so bad.
Yeah, he really did.
But at the same time, like it worked out because Hogan could still somewhat go, but then you could tell his knees and his back was going.
Yeah, every time he did a leg drop, it looked kind of brutal. It was like, ooh, you probably shouldn't be doing that. And like when he would get up, it was kind of hard to watch too because you could tell he was slowing down. Which I mean, it's no slight against him. It's just it's just time's effect on the body, right? So.
Yeah.
But like you could tell that he was definitely not the same Hogan that. Like that I grew up with, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like Hogan went on to face like Michaels in like I think 2005 and stuff like that.
In that cartoon match.
But in my opinion, The Rock and Hogan was probably one of the biggest dream matches. But I think at Mania, when the WrestleMania when The Rock faced Hogan, it wasn't supposed to be The Rock and Hogan. It was supposed to be Austin and Hogan.
Yep.
And then The Rock faced Scott Hall. And nobody enjoyed the Austin Hall match at all.
Well, Hall was fucked up, so I didn't enjoy the match either. It was I always wanted to see Hogan and Stone Cold. That's what I wanted. So I was a little disappointed with The Rock, but because I was a Stone Cold Steve Austin guy, I wasn't really much of a fan of The Rock. Like I liked him being there, but he wasn't my guy. My guy was always Stone Cold.
So was mine, Austin.
That's right.
Austin was mine. But for me, Hogan and Austin would have been a dream match that everybody would always want to sit down and watch.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, what could have happened?
We'll never know.
It's one of them matches. It's like if the Undertaker don't retire and he comes in and faces John Cena when John Cena is this big star now. It's like, yeah,
Well,
this is a dream match that we want to see. Even though they did wrestle back, way back then, that was different than what the superstar John Cena has.
There are rumors that match is going to be at Survivor Series. Yeah, I think Survivor Series next year. That Cena, they want to sign The Undertaker, and that they're trying to get Cena to get time off from shooting Bumblebee, the Transformers spinoff, to make the match between The Undertaker happen. I just saw that today.
Why the hell do they want to make that kind of spinoff? I hate when movies are.
I don't know. I don't understand why there's been so many fucking Transformers movies.
And then there was rumors like last year that The Rock was supposed to join the franchise with Mark, and that was just, I don't understand.
Mark Wahlberg is the shit. I love Mark Wahlberg.
He's good. I like him and The Rock together.
You ever see what the fuck's that movie called? Oh man, with like Leonardo DiCaprio and Jack Nicholson. Oh, what the fuck? Oh my god, that's gonna bother me. Oh well, never mind.
Well,
it's like a cop movie.
Speaking of like The Rock and his movie days, I know we don't want to keep going off track, but The Rock with the movies, John Cena's starting to do that. He's starting to transition.
That's what I was thinking about the other day. Do you think John Cena is going to be as big as The Rock?
It's a possibility. I mean, he could get paid. Actually, John is supposed to be in a movie with Mark and Mel Gibson in a Christmas movie coming up with Will Ferrell.
Oh my god!
I can't remember what it's called, but like John Cena is supposedly like a brother or like a father or something. I can't remember I can't remember exactly what it was called and all the details. But that, like you said, do you think The Rock could be overshadowed by John Cena coming up into the movie scene? I don't know. It would be good to see. It would be good to see who would make the most money out of the two.
I think it'd be sick if they did like a buddy cop movie together.
John Cena, like when The Rock did it with Kevin Hart.
Yeah, but like replace Kevin Hart with John Cena.
I don't think you could. Kevin Hart's too funny.
Fine, whatever, Logan.
But you could add John Cena as the bad guy.
You're a bad guy.
You're a bad guy.
We'll just sit here for the next 20 minutes just being like, you're a bad guy.
You're a bad guy. No, The Rock and Stone Cold was one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time. Yeah. Especially that one where Vince McMahon came out and helped Stone Cold turn heel. That, to me, I
hated that when I was a kid. I hated that.
I actually went back and watched that too a couple weeks ago, and I just looked at it. It was like, the fans can't look at Stone Cold as that guy. They just can't.
No.
Because Stone Cold, like we were bigger fans of Stone Cold than The Rock, and I think a lot of people was, no matter how big The Rock became. Just in my opinion, Stone Cold was a bigger star, but The Rock was also up there. He just wasn't. He didn't have the fan base like Austin.
Well, I think in wrestling, he definitely the Stone Cold is definitely the guy. But overall, I think The Rock is better suited for Hollywood.
Yeah. Stone Cold did a couple movies, which was pretty cool. I actually enjoyed a couple of his.
I like The Condemned. I own that actually. I don't know why, but I own it.
That was one of my favorite movies And that's one thing I don't like that WWE did. I don't like that. The fact that they always like to add other superstars and make Condemned 2. Like, that was Austin's movie. Just don't make another.
Who was in the other one? I don't remember. Was it The Miz?
I think it was The Miz.
Yeah.
Never watched it.
No, me neither.
Never watched it. I think The Rock versus Goldberg was a decent match back in 2003 at Backlash.
Yeah, I remember this match.
I believe Goldberg Goldberg squashed him, kind of. I mean, it wasn't a total. It was a squash.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was.
It was pretty bad.
Everybody knew The Rock was leaving for Hollywood, so it was more like, hey, you got to give the Goldberg this rub to be that badass guy from WCW. And I don't think Goldberg needed to do that to The Rock. In my opinion, Goldberg could have just came in and kicked Chris Jericho's ass, Christian's ass, like he did, back in 2003. And I think he could have benefited from not even facing The Rock. But I think that was a match that, Vince McMahon wanted to see and wanted to have just in case The Rock never did come back because of Hollywood. So he was like, oh, damn it. If he's not going to face anybody, it's going to be Goldberg.
Yeah, I think he just wanted that big match if The Rock was headed out of the company anyway, and Goldberg was staying for however long after that he stayed, which wasn't that long.
Didn't he come back in 2004 to team up with Mick Foley to face Evolution's Batista, Ric Flair, and Randy Orton?
Was that 2004 or 2005?
I can't remember if it was 04 or 05.
Yeah.
But I know it was at a Mania, and it was actually not a bad match. Ric Flair was starting to get down in age too back in that year, so it was more. I don't even think we saw a lot of Batista in that match, which I think we saw more of Orton.
Yeah, I think so.
Orton was and I'm not saying this on Ric Flair because Ric Flair is by far one of the greatest of all times, but during that match, I think Orton became a bigger star because he had that rub from The Rock and Mick Foley.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I don't see why. I don't think that's too controversial of you to say. But the thing about The Rock is I felt like he's always one of these guys that can leave and come back and just it's like he never left. Like he might not have the match of the night, but he always has a really solid match whenever he goes and comes back. So there's that.
That kind of goes for Stone Cold too. Like a guy like Austin, when he comes back, it's like a special occasion. It's something that people anticipate.
But Austin doesn't get in the ring anymore. That's what I mean. He's always good. The Rock's always good to go. He's good to go on the mic, but he's also good to go in the ring. Whereas Austin comes back, and I understand why. Austin's pretty banged up, more so than The Rock, I'm assuming. But I don't know. I just always thought that whenever The Rock came back, he always had a good match, regardless of how long it had been. His Mania matches with Cena were both pretty good, I felt.
Yeah, when that was actually one thing that we were going to talk about was the John Cena and The Rock, and they wrestled twice at Mania, and I think the first one was a lot better than the second one. Honestly, that was my opinion because the storyline that was built up for that match was it was never going to happen again, and this was going to be that big time match that everybody wanted to see. But when they had the second match, I was disappointed because I wanted to see CM Punk, because I think he deserved that main event at Mania back then, and so I kind of see why he was frustrated with the backstage officials and Vince McMahon and all that.
Yeah, Punk's kind of a whiny bitch, though. So.
Yeah, at the end of the day, he is a whiny bitch. But
he is.
But the Rock coming in, I don't think he needed to really come in and do that.
Well, no, I say that, but I was pissed when The Rock came back and took the title off Punk, especially considering the reign that Punk had been having, the longest in modern history. To have him drop it off somebody who just came in off a Hollywood set, it's really marquee, but it bothered me. I was like, this is bullshit, and it was all to get the title back on Cena, which at the time was something that really just didn't need to happen. I would have loved to see Punk drop it to somebody who was coming up. Give that rub to a guy who might need it, and not give it to the fuck, because they had all this momentum with Punk, and they had all this historic title reign stuff and storyline that built in that come with them, and they could have had a storyline where some young up-and-comer, was challenging him for the title, and Punk got a little arrogant. Maybe the babyface got a couple of wins, or got the upper hand on Punk for a couple of weeks, and then you have that story where all of a sudden Punk is like, holy shit, I could actually lose my title here, and then he dropped the title to that to that person, and that person is made. But nope, let's just fucking throw that all out the window and let's put it on The Rock.
Roman Reigns comes to mind. That could have probably.
Yeah, they
had
could
that
have
problem.
They could have put it on Reigns. They could have put it on. They could have put it on a lot of guys, but instead they decided to do the quick money grab, put it on The Rock, so that he could drop it. What was it, like a month later, 2 months later?
Literally, not even a month or two later to Cena.
Yeah.
At Mania.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, oh, okay, cool. So Rock was really just a transitional champion, and you ruined CM Punk. Like, make it a triple threat at Mania between Punk, Cena, and The Rock. Have him drop it there where he doesn't. Have him drop it there where he doesn't get pinned at all, and then you have another built-in feud with John Cena. And Punk Cena was always really fun to watch.
Always fun. And then another thing that comes to mind that makes us think that CM Punk was a whiny bitch was when, he had to have that feud with The Undertaker at Mania, and then he lost to Taker, and he got frustrated with that. That's a big marquee match that everybody would want to see. Everybody wanted to see it, and it was not a bad storyline, even though the sad part that Paul Bearer passed away that year. But he didn't need to lose to The Rock at the Royal Rumble back then.
No.
Because The Rock didn't need the belt. Cena didn't need the belt. Punk had that longest reigning WWE Championship reign that could have been, like you said, benefited from losing it to a guy that was coming up, like a Roman Reigns, a Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, somebody like that was
not Dean Ambrose.
Deserved it. Well, I'm saying
not Dean Ambrose.
Of course you would. But I'm saying, like, anybody but The Rock or Cena deserved it, in my opinion. Even if it was Dean Ambrose. I'm saying, like, it was still a guy that could have used it.
Fine.
I mean...
Fine.
Because wasn't Punk like a face then? Or he was like a face heel against The Rock, but The Rock was still face.
Yeah. No,
Punk was the tweener.
Yeah, Rock was a total baby face, and Cena was the heel.
Which, again, I thought the first match between Cena and The Rock was 10 times better. Way better.
I agree.
I think... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I agree with you.
Better agree with me.
Fine. Jesus Christ. Settle down now.
Another thing that I want to talk about is old school memories. I think The Rock, by far, was one of the best backstage promo guys of all time. He had one of the best insults of all times. Remember when he talked about the Big Show and Kane and Taker and the Big Show? He did the...
he went around in a circle and roasted the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Everybody.
Yeah, that was fucking great. I also like when he made fun of Toronto. But he's like, "Yay, he said Toronto." He started prancing around the ring. No, he was great. The Rock was always fucking, like, even if you didn't like him, like I said earlier, if you didn't like him in the ring, you couldn't deny that he's, from all the catchphrases to all the fucking, like, how quick he was and, like, the back and forth that he could get into with anybody, really. I mean, the guy was like a t-shirt printing machine.
Yep. And everybody loved him.
Yeah.
Nobody hated him, I don't think.
Like, even when people were saying, "Die, Rocky, die," as soon as he went into it, "If you smell what the Rock is cooking," they were right there chanting with him. I was, and I wasn't even a fan. So, because
it was just something that was relevant. It was something that it was catchy, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I kind of want to chant this."
Yeah, exactly, and it's fun. Chanting at wrestling is fun.
I don't want to chant, "I'm the guy," or "the guy." Sorry.
I'm the guy.
Yeah. But for The Rock's championships and accomplishments, if you look at those, he by far he didn't have the best. He wasn't one of the best at winning champions. He won the World Wrestling Entertainment WCW World Champion 2 times. He was a WWE Champion 8 times. A 2-time Intercontinental Champion.
Well, for fuck's sake.
5-time WWE Tag Team Champion. I mean...
decent amount of straps to me.
I mean, well, I'm saying, like, if you look at John Cena's championship reigns, or even Triple H's, or Orton's. Orton's now, what, a 13 or 14-time WWE champion?
Yeah. Yeah, but
So,
you got to remember that he's an 8-time WWE champion, but then there's the
2-time world champion.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a 10-time WWE champion. So he made double digits. That's pretty good. What the fuck,
I mean,
Logan?
yeah.
Settle down.
He won he was a 5-time WWE tag team champion, 3 with Foley. I did not remember him actually having a tag team reign with Undertaker or Jericho. I don't remember that. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
I don't remember that either.
I don't remember him being a tag team champion with Taker. I don't. I remember Stone Cold and Triple H, but I can't remember.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to search the deepest parts of my brain, which are, aren't that far, but I can't remember.
I know he was a Deadly Games WWE Champion Tournament winner. He won the 2000 Royal Rumble. He was a 6th Triple Crown champion. He won Slammy Awards 9 times. 2014 Best Actor. He was the Game Changer in 2011 with Cena. He won LOL Moment of the Year, insulting John Cena using his history, Boston, Massachusetts, and the Rock concert. We didn't even mention the Rock concert where he sang to Vicky Guerrero.
Oh, God.
Do you remember that? I think that was one of the best songs ever.
I do. I can't remember what song he used, though.
Oh, crap.
God, I know.
That short black hair.
Oh, you look. Yeah, it's. Oh my God, you look wonderful tonight.
But it was look like.
Yeah, you look. Isn't it awful? Like, you look horrible. You look horrible.
Horrible tonight.
Is it Phil Collins?
I think. Shit. Damn it. Why?
I'm looking it up. I can't. You look wonderful. Oh, it's Eric Clapton. Jesus Christ, Phil Collins. Yeah, it's Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton.
God, I hate that I didn't know that.
I kind of hate the fact that I don't remember that either.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
He won Match of the Year in 2013 versus Cena for the WWE Champion at WrestleMania 29. Again, like I said, I don't think that was the best match out of the two. I think it was the 2012.
Yeah, the first time they met, there was better hype. There was better. I think people were just like, "Fuck again" for the second one. Just like 2 main events, 2 years in a row. You're gonna expect there's gonna be some pushback, and of course there is, because it's wrestling and everybody's always miserable.
He won a couple Slammies. Tell me you didn't just say that insult of the year in 2014 when he insulted Rusev and Lana. And he also won This Is Awesome Moment of the Year when he shared the ring with Ronda Rousey at Mania.
That was pretty cool. I like that. I thought that was cool.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
That's all I really had to say. I like Ronda.
I think the feud should have happened then for Ronda Rousey and The Rock and Triple H and all that back then. I think that was a perfect time to start a feud.
Yeah,
now,
but she wasn't doing it. Like, she was still a bit, like, really active in the UFC. That wasn't going to happen then. It's more likely to happen now, but we'll have to see. I mean, the rumor mill is that there's people like they're in talks. Like, Ronda wants a WWE match apparently. So we'll just have to wait and see.
It's something that the Rock's actually pushing for that. What I read.
Oh, is
the
he?
Rock is that guy that's been talking to Vince about bringing in Ronda Rousey, and Vince is all about it. And Triple H is also a guy that's been talking to The Rock about bringing in Ronda for a match, or even working for the WWE full time. That is something that's not off the table. That is something to look at.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I think by far, if Ronda Rousey became a big wrestling star in the women's division or anything like that, she's the perfect woman to beat Asuka in the future.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's probably the best bet to have a decent match. Like if it was a shoot.
But that's if Ronda Rousey actually becomes a star, in the division that can actually wrestle and cut a promo. I mean, I don't see why she couldn't cut a promo. So
yeah, exactly.
That is something.
I'm sure she could. I mean, she has interviews. She has interviews in the UFC anyway. So I mean, it's not exactly a promo, but it's not that far. She's had experience talking on a mic in front of a bunch of people and like millions and millions of people worldwide. So, yeah, I don't think the promo is her biggest issue, to be honest. I think she could make the transition rather well. So,
well, it's good to see The Rock still somewhat active in WWE.
Yeah.
Even if it's just giving an opinion to Vince, it's never a bad thing to know that he's got somebody's back and he's still a part of the WWE no matter what.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's always, like I said, it's always good to see The Rock come back once in a while, especially with that segment he had insulting Rusev and Lana in 2014. And I can't believe it's been 3 years since that's happened.
Yeah, that's crazy. That doesn't seem like it's right.
I can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah, I know. Makes me feel old.
It does.
Huh.
Dang, why are you so old?
Fuck off, Logan. Because I was born before you.
That is true. This is true.
There you go. Pretty much can't argue with that. It's pretty funny in my Twitter history, my followers, the two people that are next to each other is John Cena and The Rock.
See, they're always feuding somehow, some way.
Feuding in my followers.
It's feuding in Broski's followers.
I just unfollowed Bailey.
I think the cool part, The Rock actually, I just read a couple days ago actually, that The Rock actually met a little kid who saved his little brother from drowning.
Right.
And he literally took him to get all the candy and stuff like that. So The Rock, taking his time out of his busy schedule to bring the kid to a movie set at that.
Wow.
He got to hang out with the little kid, and I thought that was just amazing. The Rock is still doing so much good work for around the area, around the world, and even if it is on one of his busiest days, he's still getting shit done.
There you go. Well said.
So it is time for us to end this, though, Broski. I'm going to give you an opportunity to give your rating for his career from being 10 being great or 1 being terrible. I want to know what you thought about his career and what he's become in WWE.
Jeez. I give it a solid maybe like 9. Just because I think a 10 would be someone like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'd give Stone Cold a 10. So I'm going to give The Rock a 9. Because I think Stone Cold was the one who kind of opened that door. And then The Rock was the first guy to really take advantage of it. But, I mean, if you're looking overall, well, you got to say 10. Because his transition to Hollywood was insane. Nobody really ever gave him a chance. And he's the highest paid actor in Hollywood right now. So you got to respect that kind of dedication and that kind of, like, it's not easy going after something when everybody thinks you're going to fail. So, good for him. I ain't got no hate for The Rock.
No, I don't either, because there's, like I said, there's positive things that he's done for the
Plus,
business.
I feel like he's legitimately talented. There's that too. Like, the guy has talent, so why would I hate on him? He doesn't suck. So, I just unfollowed Sam Roberts. Fuck you, Sam Roberts.
You actually unfollowed Sam Roberts.
Yeah, for no real reason. I just saw him. I was like, I don't like your face. And I unfollowed him.
I don't like his hair.
I don't mind his hair. That's racist because you don't like it because you don't like his Jew hair. Jeez, you're so racist.
You know what? I don't like your beard.
Why? You don't like white people? Oh, well, at least you can't be racist against white people, so that's okay.
Oh my gosh.
That's not me. That's mainstream media. That's not me talking.
For me, I gotta give him a solid 9 as well. He needs to bring back the beard, like the goatee. He needs to bring back the goatee
The Rock?
when it comes back to
Why?
goatee.
I hate the goatee.
I like the goatee.
I like his stunner reactions. Actually, we should have talked about that. Do you know why he?
It's
Do you know what?
eyebrow.
Do you know why he used to do those over the top reactions?
Was that?
To pop Stone Cold so that he would buy him a case of beer.
No way.
Yeah, they try to see how he said it in an interview where. Sorry, he said in an interview where he would try to see how over the top and insane they could get, and then after the match they would decide if it was over the top enough, and if it was, then Stone Cold would buy him a case of beer. Most of the time he got a case of beer. So there's a little tidbit.
That's funny because I think I heard about after Raw, The Rock and Stone Cold used to drink beer together.
Yep.
In the ring or out of the ring. It was funny.
It didn't matter anywhere. That's what happens. That's what happens.
And actually, did you know Lillian Garcia was actually a big friend of Austin and Rock?
Yeah, I do know that.
So, which I do know The Rock used to. I always loved his backstage promos. Are you looking at the strudel?
Oh God, yeah, he had some great backstage promos with Lillian.
Especially the coach. Are you looking at
the
people's?
Yeah. I like the coach. He made me laugh.
Yep, I think by far the guys, the Rock could work with anybody, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand or don't get. They don't see it. With
you have to keep in mind that to a lot of people watching wrestling now, The Rock is a guy who comes back once in a while. He's more of an actor now than he is a wrestler. There's a lot of kids that don't really realize that he is a movie star now, but it's because he was a wrestler first. Or not because he is a wrestler, but that's where he kind of got his training.
He got his acting from what he did back in the day. Exactly. with his wrestling career. His promos is what I think a lot of producers and stuff like that in the movie industry. I think that's why they say.
Well, yeah, because that's what an audition is. It's a short, brief moment that they film of a scene that you have to do, and that's basically a promo. So.
And that's basically what The Rock did back in the day, and I always loved The Rock's promos. I think Stone Cold was always funny too, but I think by far The Rock and Jericho was one of my favorites on the mic. I would say my favorite all-time promo guy was Roddy Piper.
Yeah, Piper was great. Piper was great.
Roddy Piper was my favorite promo guy, but when it came to like joking and stuff like that, it was definitely Jericho and The Rock to me.
Yeah, Jericho and Rock were certainly in a different league. Like they could do the thing, like they had a different range. So,
but they also were very similar, especially when they would work together and do a promo on Stephanie McMahon. That was probably
those are the best,
funniest things I've ever listened to.
Yeah, that is fucking funny. That is really, really funny. I hadn't thought about that in a long time. That's really good.
Yeah, they always talked about her having implants and stuff like that. And it was funny because Jericho would be the guy, well, look at this on the Titantron, and then they would show the before and the after pictures of Stephanie McMahon's boob job.
Oh, yeah.
I wish they would do more of that.
Yeah. Look at you, Logan's, and I haven't heard you laugh like that in a while. You're in a happy place right now.
Come on. That's one thing. If Jericho were to come back and John Cena was heel or something and they were facing each other, Jericho could talk about Nikki Bella. That would be, that would be, I would be on it. I would be so happy.
Wow.
In other news, I mean, Nikki Bella is going to be in Dancing with the Stars. I hope one of her implants don't fly out.
That's not how it works, Logan.
Well,
I don't think they'll fly out. If anything, they'll pop. Why would you wish that? Nikki Bella is a fucking gorgeous woman. Why would you wish that?
I'm not.
Are you a woman hater, Logan? Do you hate women? Do you not believe women are equal to men?
Nope, never said that.
Okay.
Never said that.
Well, you'd be right, but whatever.
It was funny 'cause, I just watched a video a couple days ago. It was something that somebody edited a video of and had The Rock's reaction to it. Some chick was getting a tattoo done, and one of her boob implants actually exploded, and it looked like a shotgun went off, and it had The Rock with his eyebrow at the end of the video, and I totally just died.
That's funny. You'll have to send me the link.
If I can find it on Facebook again.
Well, you're going to have to look for it, Logan. You're going to have to do a little work. It's like you're going to have to end this show.
Dang it. Well, I guess it is time to end the show for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Future Wrestling Podcast, Old School Edition is History of the Rock is here, and it's finished with me and Broski. If you guys would like to check me out on Twitter at LoganMyers144. And, of course, Broski, it's time to end the show. I know you want to plug your shit and get out of here.
You can follow me on Twitter again because I'm out of Twitter jail at MTL Broski. You can find my stuff on YouTube at First Thing in the Morning. You can check out the stuff I do if you want to support at patreon.com/FTITM and prowrestlingtees.com/FTITM. There you go. I did it nice and quick. I know how that's how you like it, Logan. Nice and quick.
Nice and quick.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.